Hi, Ethnic Studies class. This is Josue and this is my ethnic autobiography project. Real quick, I just want to let you guys know that I am recording in my restroom. I couldn't find a better lighting source, so this is what we got, and that's what I'm gonna go. I'm gonna start off with my nationality. I'm from Guatemala. I am indigenous, and I'm also Hispanic. Technically, I'm mestizo, but I don't associate myself with my European side. I just consider myself Hispanic and indigenous. My race became salient when I was about 4, I think, back in Guatemala. In Guatemala, it was normal for people to discriminate against indigenous people, and that's where I began seeing it. It wasn't until I moved to the USA when I actually became aware what my race was, and it all began in school, I think. For starters, I went to the widest elementary school here in Austin, which was Highland Park. So standing out was pretty easy for me. Everyone was white and there was no diversity. Number 1 was humor. I know this sounds super petty of me to make humor a race thing, but it really is. For instance, in some of my classes, I would see a lot of white kids laughing at things that I thought were pretty dumb and not funny. And I would just sit in class and ask myself, what are they laughing at? This. But then you saw black kids and Hispanic kids laughing at things that I thought were funny. And then you had white kids not laughing. So humor definitely played a role, I think. And it also has to do with how divisive and cliquey races are. Anyways, moving on. The second most prominent thing that I saw was how teachers treated students of color. I remember being in middle school and having a lot of teachers kind of be surprised of how smart I was. And they were just kind of shocked at the fact that I could keep up with a lot of students in AP and honors classes, and that I actually did better than a lot of them. The things that teachers would do would be, I don't know, they would just punish people of color more, yell at them, and get them on track. This is the last one that I'm gonna state, but even more, just I remember a lot of white people always assuming that I'm Mexican, and that they assumed that I was Mexican and that was my race, and ethnicity. And that led to some interesting interactions because I had to roast them and get them enlightened, which I'm okay with doing that. I mean, I don't mind it. I was fine. Next question. Race has definitely played a huge role in my life. It defines me to some extent. Because I consider myself to be indigenous, I'm a bit defensive when people talk about indigenous and native culture, but it also makes me proud because we're a race that's so underrepresented in society, and it makes me happy that people talk. It just makes me happy that we bring people aware of what has happened to my race, and it just inspires me. It inspires me to make a change, to be confident in myself, and honestly be cool about it also. What has happened to my race is not something that you can blame one person for doing, and it's not anyone's fault. It's not anyone's fault, really, and you have to work together to fix society up, pretty much. Which is easier said than done, but I truly believe that racists and people working together can fix society up. The things that I'm most proud about my race is how unified we are with one another, and just how much we value family in my both Hispanic and indigenous community, and I just think that's really awesome. We also have amazing food. We laugh, we have a good time, we know how to party and stuff, and dance, and good music too. Even though I'm happy being myself and my race and everything, I am ashamed of things that my race tend to do. For example, indigenous and Hispanic communities are very much addicted to alcohol and are very patriarchal and sexist. Obviously, I don't support this type of mentality, but I do wish that my race would take it more seriously than it actually does. I think my community should have more feminist movements and women in general who are breaking the system. And I think men should also be happy that women are succeeding in life and not be sexist towards them, because that's something that I see a lot and it bothers me. Alcohol addiction is something that I'm the most ashamed about in my community, because I've seen how it breaks families apart, and it even broke my family apart, and it's something that we really got to work. It's something that my community needs to stop glorifying and promoting. And even if you do promote it, you have to promote moderation, and that's something that's overlooked a lot in my community. Other than that, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty proud of my race. So this is gonna be my last question, and it's something that Miss Griswold told me to ponder. I think the question is very beautiful, and my answer to that is that it depends on where I am. Like, if I'm in Guatemala, I'm very patriotic about being Guatemalan. But if I'm here in the United States, it's almost like I see myself and other Hispanic people as just one race, or I guess not race, but one nationality. And I'm very proud of that. And for the most part, we get along and we become friends and we treat each other like brothers. We see each other like brothers and whatnot. But if you go to one of the Central or Southern American countries, you see that we make fun of one another and we talk shit about one another. But it always comes down to being like in a family way and in a loving manner, rather than insulting or being racist or like anything. So this is the end of my project. Thank you for watching, and there you go, Miss Griswold.